أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحابه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهادي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي لا تؤاخذني مما يقولون واغفر لي ما لا يعلمون وجعلني خيرا مما يظنون. Amen. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome one more time to the house of dua, and welcome to another blessed day of Jumu'ah in the year 1446 after the hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Indeed, all the praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us another opportunity to see another day of Jumu'ah. Another opportunity to rise up from bed this morning out of His mercy. For sleep is a temporary death, and to wake up from it is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many of us went to bed last night, but they didn't wake up this morning. They didn't wake up because their time of life had expired, and they have no choice but to transit to Akhirah for accountability. When will it be our time to proceed to Akhirah for accountability? We have no idea. It's in the hands of Allah. It's in the hands of Allah, but one thing is sure, when that time is due, La yastakhiruna sa'a wa la yastakdimun. It will not be delayed by a second, and if it's not due yet, it cannot be advanced by a second. But definitely, it will come. Welcome to the channel from which we learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about His creation, about His message, about His messenger, and of course, about His chosen religion known as Al-Islam. And welcome to the channel from which we learn how to live and be happy in the world we live today, and how to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for greater happiness and success on the day of judgment. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, today we are welcoming you to our new series titled Prohibited Sayings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, has granted us the mouth with which to speak. Among the favors He had done for us is by providing us the ability to speak. Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaqal insana, Allamahul bayan. Allah, the most gracious, the one who created man, and who has taught man the ability to speak, who has taught man the power of speech and eloquence. Alladhi allama bil kalam, allama al insana ma lam ya'lam. Who has taught by the pen, and who has taught man what man does not know. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, it's out of favor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us the mouth to speak. In Surah Al-Balad, Allah says, Alam naja'al lahu aynayn wa lisanan wa shafatain wa hadaynahu najdain. Have we not granted man the ability to see by granting him 2 eyes, and the ability to speak by granting him the mouth, as well as the 2 lips to cover the mouth? And dear brothers, my dear sisters, you either use your mouth to speak that which is good, or you keep it shut. Keep it shut and close it with your 2 lips. That's better for you. We shall come to that hadith just now. Today we are reminding ourselves that it's a privilege that we have gotten from Allah by being able to make the use of our mouth. But most of the time, we use the mouth either rightly or wrongly. What we say with the mouth, we shall be held accountable. And unfortunately, over 70% of the sins we commit every day are by the use of our mouth. It's very, very serious. Therefore, we are here to remind ourselves of how to curtail this sinfulness or to totally eliminate it. Because every sin is a dark spot on our white clothes. And when you have so many dark spots, then that cloth that was white before will become dark. That's how the sins slow down our own prosperity and progress, our own righteousness, our own relationship with Allah. We learn this from the hadith of the Prophet, that sin is an enemy of our success. Therefore, we have to stay away from it. But unfortunately, most of the time, we use our mouth to commit sins. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down powerful revelations in the Quran to remind us of the need for us to use our mouth in the best manner. In Surah Al-Baqarah, he says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ الْحُسْنَى. Whenever you want to speak to people, speak to them by saying that which is good all the time, something that will not harm them or hurt them, or don't use your mouth to despise them. In Surah Al-Isra, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet, وَقُولِ عِبَادِي يَقُولُوا الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Tell my true slaves that whenever they want to speak, they should speak that which is good with their mouth. And in Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida yuslih lakum a'malakum wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wa man yuti' Allaha wa rasulahu faqad faza fawzan azima. O you who believe, be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you are given an opportunity to speak, speak that which is sadid, which is good. Be among those who uphold the truth as revealed in the Quran. Don't be among those who despise the truth. Be among those who use your mouth in the best manner in your dealing with people. Do not use your mouth to despise others or to derogate them or to elevate yourself above them. If you were to use your mouth in the best manner as commanded by Allah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will purify your deeds and forgive your sins and admit you to Jannah. Ask Allah to grant us that supreme prize known as Jannah. And dear brothers, my dear sisters, unfortunately, the Shaitan is the enemy of man. From time to time, he's able to subdue us and we use our mouth in the wrong way. But we can reduce this or eliminate it when we know exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed several verses of certain things we must not say with our mouth. By so doing, you hurt yourself. As a matter of fact, there is the immediacy of harm done to yourself by saying so. The consequence of the sins you commit as a result of saying these things is not far away. You are bound to face such consequences in this world, and when you meet Allah again, you face worse punishment. In the life we live, such persons will be disgraced. And when they meet Allah on the day of accountability, they will face much more severe punishment. And dear brothers, my dear sisters, this is why we have considered it fit to help ourselves identify some of these prohibited sayings so that we learn, we cultivate the habit of avoiding them in our day-to-day conversations so that we don't fall out of our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll be coming to you with one or two of these prohibited sayings as revealed in the Quran, so that all of us will know exactly what we are talking about. Let's mention some of them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in different surahs of the Quran, number 1, has stated, do not associate partnership with Allah. Do not use your mouth to say Allah is 3 or one of 3. Do not use your mouth as a believer to say Allah is 3 or one of the 3. He has also declared, what you don't know about Allah, do not say it. Another thing you must not say with your mouth is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a child. Allah says, Kaburati kalimatan tarju min afwahihim in yaquluna illa kaziba. To say that Allah has a son is a big, big sin. A woeful statement that utters from their mouth. Indeed, Allah has no son. They lie. Allah does not have any child. And He has declared as well, what Allah has made permissible, do not by your speech make them impermissible. And what Allah has made impermissible, you turn around to make it permissible in order to mislead people. And He has declared, do not use your mouth to tell others, I am better than you. Remember that the shaitan, the beginning of disobedience, is with the statement, I'm better than him. That's one of Allah asked the shaitan, Ya Iblis, ma manak, Allah tasjuda kama amartuk. Qal, anna khayrun minni, khalaqtani min narin, wa khalaqtahu min tin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the angels, including Iblis, to prostrate in greetings to Adam. But all of them did, but Iblis refused. And he was asked, why did you refuse? And he said, I'm better than him. Because you created me from fire, and you created him from dust. That idea, I'm better than you, is one of the most serious sins. You must not use your mouth to tell your fellow believers. You must not look down on people and use your mouth to say, you know what, I've done better than you. Take a look at the example of the two men who planted, as revealed in Surah Al-Kahf, the agricultural investment, did well, but one had his own better than the other. Instead of him to thank Allah, he began to exhort himself, saying that he had done better and was more likely to be successful than the other. But what he didn't know is that Allah could flip the table around. We shall come to that very soon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared, do not say that which you will not do. Lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. Kabura makatan inda Allahi an taqulu ma la taf'alun. Why will you say that which you will not do? Why will you promise what you will not carry out? It's a hateful, sinful thing in the sight of Allah for you to say so. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also stated, do not use your mouth to say that those who die in the cause of Allah, they have died in vain. Indeed, it's a big sin to say so. They have not. Because if you are allowed to continue to say so, nobody will make effort to strive in the cause of Allah. That's why it's sinful to say those who die in the cause of Allah, they die for nothing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not say that the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a fable or magic or old stories that cannot be believed. In other words, do not use your mouth to ridicule the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not be among those who sit down discussing that for which you have no knowledge, especially when such matters have to do with disputing the revelations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are grave, grave offenses. There are so many things in the Quran, do not say, do not say, do not say. And the consequence of saying them is immediate on you. This is one of the reasons why you see some people in the society, yet they have figures in the bank, but then they are not happy, they are not doing well, they are not moving forward. They are full of sadness, and they are in some cases hopeless. Why? Because what you use your mouth to say is a thing that Allah will hold you accountable for. And that accountability starts from here. That's why it's important for us to make sure that we use your mouth well, especially when we are dealing with fellow human beings. Do not use your mouth to run down people in front of them or behind them. At the end of the day, on the day of judgment, you become what is known as al-muflis. That is a bankrupt person. Bankrupt in the sense that all those you harm with your mouth, behind them, they didn't know. Or even if they know, and you didn't ask for forgiveness from them, then on the day of judgment, you will be held accountable for them. As a matter of fact, your good deeds will be used to pay them off, and you will become bankrupt, unable to go to Jannah. Why they themselves will go to Jannah? My dear brothers, my dear sisters, it's a very serious thing we're talking about. Imagine the world we live. Not only do we use our mouth to generate falsehood or ridicule people, but we participate in spreading of such falsehood using the modern tools we have today, such as cell phone, sending emails, text messages, and coming up with fake videos, all meant to convey falsehood in society. And such falsehood are designed to ridicule people, to degrade them, to make them look small. And dear brothers, my dear sisters, if you have been doing all this before, I hope what we are about to present in this series will enable you check yourself. Check yourself so that you eliminate some shackles that are holding you behind in the life we live. Now let's bring to you the story of the two men who planted in the garden. Just like many of us invest today in several investments, these two men invested in agriculture. They planted in farms all kinds of crops, grapes, dates, grains. At the end of the year, their harvest did well, but one had his harvest better off. Instead of thanking Allah, he began to claim that it was by his power. And not only that, he began to ridicule the one whose own did not do so much well. Say, I'm better than you. I will now have more supporters than you. At the same time, denying the fact that those things are temporary and they will waste away very soon. Instead, he said he was going to now be like this forever. And that even if there will be accountability, he will still be better when he meets Allah. And in fact, he doubts whether there will be accountability, whether there will be day of judgment. This is why it didn't take a while before his farm was raised down, his table was turned upside down, and he became worse than the person he was laughing at. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Kahf, وَضْرِبْ لَهُم مَّثَلًا رَجُلَيْنِ جَعَلْنَا لِأَحَدِهِمَا جَنَّتَيْنِ مِنْ أَعْنَابٍ وَحَفَفْنَاهُمَا بِنَخْلٍ وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمَا زَرْعًا كِلْتَا الْجَنَّتَيْنِ آتَتْ أُكُلَهَا ولم تظلموا منهم شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أن أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن ساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا كلنا منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلفا أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلا تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح ينقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن لهم فئة ينصرونهم من دون الله وما كان منتصرا هنالك الولاية لله الحق وخير ثوابا وخير عقبا. What a beautiful, beautiful report. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here reminds us of what happened between these two people who invested heavily and yet they got different results. Instead of the one with better result to praise Allah, he began to boast of his own achievement and use his mouth to despise the other one, claiming to be better than that person. As well, denying the fact that that prosperity came from him, from Allah, and claiming that there will be no accountability. Even if there were to be, it will still be better. But the one who was at a disadvantage told him, why couldn't you just attribute your success to Allah, who had created you from dust and then made you with man? I know you have done better than me. I know I'm short in terms of prosperity and children. You are better than me, but Allah may flip the situation around. It didn't take a while because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows everything. He got the situation flipped around. A wild wind came to the farm, blew everything apart. Fire followed. The farm was raised down. Imagine if it were stocks or investments such as mutual funds, such as 401k, and so on. They could also be wiped away if you go beyond your limit. And the man came to be in regret for the rest of his life, or simply uses his mouth to claim what he could not account for. We ask Allah to forgive our sins. That's why in the hadith of the Prophet it says, Man kana yuminu billahi wal yawmil akhir fala yuzi jarrahu. ومن كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليكرم ضيفه ومن كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليكن خيرا أو ليصمت. Whoever believes in Allah and looks forward to the day of judgment, that person must not harm his neighbor. And whoever believes in Allah and looks forward to the day of judgment, that person must honor his guest. And whoever believes in Allah and looks forward to the day of judgment, that person must always use his mouth to say that which is good or keep his mouth shut. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, we ask Allah to make us among those who use our mouth in the best way. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. I'm sorry to inform you that we shall be having a break for the next 1 month. As soon as we come back from that break, we'll continue the series. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.